Practicing Vipassana meditation. Many people all over the world are now practicing the Buddhist meditation known as Vipassana or insight meditation. Western psychotherapies have taken it up as mindfulness, as well as ordinary people have found it beneficial in coping with the stresses and strains of modern life, and many are increasingly taking time out to attend retreats in Vipassana retreat centers. Vipassana meditation can be done quite successfully to some extent in everyday life on an occasional, casual basis, as long as the practitioner has an ongoing commitment. However, to realize its ultimate benefit, the practice needs to deepen, and that is best done in a supportive retreat environment where the meditator can be totally focused on the practice. We can't gloss over the fact that Vipassana meditation is a demanding practice. It requires serious practitioners to devote themselves full-time to the practice in a retreat situation in order to be able to sustain the practice with appropriate intensity. This needs supportive conditions such as has been itemized in the meditation manual, The Path of Purification, as the 7 types of suitability. They are a place or dwelling, which is well furnished and supported retreat center or monastery, secluded and quiet, easily accessible, few insects, with the basic requirements of food, clothes, and medicines. Then there is the location, not too far from or close to a town. Food, a balanced diet, healthy, digestible, and nourishing, taken in moderate amounts. People, other meditators as companions who are considerate, with good attitude and practice. The teacher, a learned and respected teacher who speaks and listens well. Noble silence has to be maintained throughout the practice other than at interviews with the teacher. The weather, not too hot or cold, ideally a temperate climate. Vipassana retreat centers catering for lay people are quite a recent trend in Buddhism, originating in Myanmar after the Second World War, when the first Burmese Prime Minister, U Nu, a keen meditator, invited the late Venerable Mahasi Sayadaw to teach in a meditation center he set up in Yangon, the Mahasi Sasana Yekta. This was the beginning of the modern revival of Vipassana meditation, which, while originating in Myanmar, was soon to spread to other Theravada Buddhist countries in Southeast Asia, and then later to retreat centers established in the West. Now, many Vipassana retreat centers in various traditions have been set up around the world to provide the conditions needed for Vipassana practice, usually to the exclusion of any religious or study activities. A worldwide Vipassana meditation culture has evolved, which caters for lay meditators who are not necessarily Buddhists and often with lay teachers, supported by senior monastic teachers in the same lineage. This style of practice, while demanding, has proved to be popular because its methods and techniques can be systematically taught, and its practitioners are usually able to experience at least the psychological insights and healing benefits from its practice. This interest has created a pool of knowledge and experience in Vipassana practice with trained teachers in many different countries. An introductory Vipassana retreat usually lasts 2 or 3 days. These introductory retreats are more in the nature of workshops, where one learns the techniques and methods involved under the guidance of a teacher. The intensive Vipassana retreats are more challenging and can run for 10, 20 or 30 days and up to 3 months of full-time practice. It is a requirement for attending Vipassana retreat that participants undertake the 5 or 8 precepts. These precepts are the foundation of all Buddhist training. The underlying principle is non-exploitation of yourself or others. With a developed ethical base, much of the emotional conflict and stress that we experience is resolved, allowing commitment and more conscious choice. The retreats are conducted in noble silence, which, besides no talking, includes no communication through eye contact or body language, no listening to music, and no reading or writing except for brief notes to record the meditation experience. There are, however, opportunities to discuss the practice with the teacher during individual interviews or during group discussion. A typical retreat day begins between 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. and usually ends around 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. with a rest period in the middle of the day after lunch. The whole day is spent practicing sitting and walking meditation, together with cultivating continuous attention to the change in nature of one's moment-to-moment experience during daily activities. The retreat teacher gives evening talks to explain and inspire the practice, providing a time for questions and answers, as well as conducting a personal interview that usually occurs on every second day. An intensive Vipassana meditation retreat is a challenging undertaking which requires effort and self-discipline. A retreat is not just a chance to escape the pressure of daily life, nor is it time out in which to do one's own thing. Rather, it is an opportunity to cultivate the Buddha's way of liberation through the practice of ethics and mindful meditation that leads to deep insights. Walking this path, we can learn to abandon actions of body, speech, and mind that bring suffering to ourselves and those around us, and cultivate actions that bring happiness and harmony to ourselves and also to those with whom we are in relationship with. Above all, the Vipassana retreat is a situation that requires the meditator to leave aside mundane concerns and commit oneself to the training in order to attain the deep insights and the transformation of consciousness that the Buddha declared has the potential to realize Nibbana in this very life.